Hello everyone, in this video we are going to see how to copy a data from API into a blob container in CSV format. You can even copy into SQL table as well, but for this video I'm going to copy into a blob container. If you are new to our channel, hit subscribe. I started publishing courses in Udemy as well. As of now I have posted only one course, which is a practice test for AZ 204 certification. Do expect more courses in upcoming days. If you Google about Bitcoin prices, you will get a chart something like this. Here you can switch to other cryptocurrencies as well, for example Dogecoin and all. You can just click on it and see what is the value of it with respect to the US dollars. So here you will see how much one Bitcoin corresponds to US dollars. So you can change the currency. Let's say for example you can switch to Indian currency, Indian rupee, and you can see what is the value of one Bitcoin. Let me switch back to US dollar. Yeah, here you will see ups and downs. So currently this is for 1 year of data. If you mouse over, you can see what is the rate at a particular point of time. So we are going to copy the data which is similar to what it is showing up here, meaning like Bitcoin rate with respect to US dollars. We have one website which will be providing the API about this rate and all. I'll be providing the URL of this website. So here you can just explore the documentation. They have very good documentation. And here provide your email ID in order to get API key. API key is for authenticating into this API. With the API key only you can access the data inside this particular API. So do a self-explore. And this is the API we are going to consume, historic data. So let me show in Postman. Under headers, I have already copy pasted the API key for authentication. So this is the API key name we need to give in the header. So just navigate to the documentation. Here you will find the header name. So I have used the same API key and the value. The value you will be getting on the email once you register. And this is the base URL. Let me navigate to the historic data. And here asset ID base means the base value which we need, which is Bitcoin. And under asset ID code, we will be providing USD or IND, Indian rupee. So what value we are going to compare with, that will be providing, and history. And we need to pass time start and time end as well. So let me switch to Postman. And here let me show how I frame the URL. Here I mentioned as BTC, which is Bitcoin, and followed by US dollar. If you want to compare it with the Indian rupee, you can just put it as IND, and then historic we need to provide. So this forms the base URL, and in period we need to provide the frequency. This API provides data at various frequency. When I say frequency, let's take this example. So you are seeing currently yearly data. It is showing up 31st of October 2021, but here you can't see what is the rate at 31st October 4 a.m. right? You can't see that data because you are seeing daily data, not a hourly data. If you click on one day, then you could see the hourly data. So this is what we called as frequency. This API is providing data at all the frequency. Just navigate to this. If you want the data in minute frequency, these are the value you want to give in the period ID, and hourly data. Similarly for daily data, meaning like 1 day or 10 days once. So what is the frequency you need? So for me, I need daily data with the time start as 2022 January 1 and time end as March 31st of 2022, which is over a period of 3 months. And let me send this request. So this is basically a GET request. So I will be providing this URL in the video description as well. You can just get the API key and then make use of it. So let me send the request. See, so this is the data we'll be getting. You will be getting 8 key value pair. So these are the columns we'll be getting. And if you see, The first one is time period start. So it is 1st of Jan till 2nd of Jan. Time open and time close represents the exact closing time, which is from 12 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. Rate opens represents the rate at 12 a.m. and rate close represents the 11:59 p.m. and rate high and represents on a specific day how much high it went. Similarly, for low, how much low it went. So these are the data we are going to copy from this specific API. And if you scroll down this JSON, you will see for January 2, January 3. So all these data you will be seeing in this JSON. You can scroll till the end, and at the end you will find the data till March 31st. We are going to copy the data from this API into a CSV file. The output of CSV file should look like this, with whatever the column we are seeing, right? Everything should be here. Whatever the 8 columns we see, time close, and what is the rate open, rate close. So all the columns we need it. Apart from these 8 column, I also need additional 3 column, which is currency and asset name as well as asset. This we are not getting from API. We need to insert it as an additional column via Azure Datafactory copy activity. We will see how to do. I have created one data factory and a storage account. If you want to know about the steps of creation, just watch the introduction video about ADF and storage account. I will be providing the video URL in the description. Let me open Azure Data Factory. So this is my data factory, and let me show the storage account as well. Let me navigate to portal.azure.com, and under the storage account I have mine. So this is the storage account which I have created, and I'm going to create one container which will be used in the data factory for posting our CSV file. So this is our output container. So here only we are going to post our output file. Now the first and foremost step is creation of link to the API as well as the storage account. Just click on the manage icon, and under manage you will have a linked service. So just click on create a linked service and search for storage blob. So this is the first link we are going to create. Provide a nice name to the linked service. Here I am providing as blob link, and if you want you can provide a description as well. Since description is optional one, I am not going to provide it. So here you can provide the integration runtime. In case if you have a self-hosted integration runtime, you can select from this drop down. So how you will authenticate into the storage account. SaaS URI we have already seen in our earlier video about SaaS. I will be providing the video URL, and system assigned and user assigned I will be explaining in a separate video. So as of now, go with account key. You can use connection string or key vault. So you have 2 options at the top. So I'm going with the connection string, which is a simple one, and I'm going to select the value from the drop down. So once this is done, just click on test connection and click on create. So now we have created a link to our blob. Now let us create a link to our API. So search for REST and just click on this. Under name, please make sure you do not give any spaces in between these namings, but while recording this video I have given this spacing by mistake. So what happened is while setting up CI/CD in Azure DevOps, there will be option to override parameters, and these spaces caused some trouble over there. I'm sure that is a bug in Azure DevOps which will be fixed soon. So as of now, do not give any spaces in between these namings. If you wish to provide a description, you can provide it over here. And for the base URL, let me go to Postman. So before the question mark, whatever the item is there, no, this is what we called as base URL. And let me copy this and let me paste it over here. And next part is authentication type. Let's say if you have selected basic, it will ask for user ID and password. For basic, you need to provide user ID and password. And we have other methods such as service principal, Auth, and user assigned identity. Our API requires API key in the header part, so this authentication type doesn't shoot up. So select anonymous. In Postman, if you see, so this is I'm authenticating with the header part only, so I'm not going to select any of this. But if you scroll down here, you will find one more option like Auth Header. So we are going to authenticate with the header part only as we do in Postman. Similarly, here also you can add that particular value, this header part, what is the key name, that you can provide it over here, and the value part, whatever you will be getting over the email while registering in that particular site, you can just copy paste the same one over here and click on test connection in order to test out the connection. And once done, just click on create. So we have created a link for both Blob and REST API. So next step is creating a dataset. So under dataset, just click on new dataset in order to create a dataset for Blob as well as our API. So you can search it over here as REST in order to create for dataset for our REST API. And here you can provide a name for our dataset. And under linked service, just select the linked service which you have created for our REST API. So once this is done, click on OK. And in the relative URL, we need to provide the rest of the URL for our API. So just copy the rest of the part after question mark, meaning like including question mark, just copy this part which will have start and end time. Yeah, done. Minimize the properties. And now let us create a dataset to our Blob as well. Just click on new dataset and search for Blob. Select the Blob and click on continue. So we have various format, but for this video we are going to export to a CSV. So I'm select CSV, and here provide a name to the dataset. And in the linked service drop down, select the linked service which you have created, and in the file path just click on browse in order to select our container and select the output container which we have created. Basically I need a header as well in our output file, which means the topmost row. Whatever the column name you see here, these are called as header. So just click on first row as header since I want it. And import schema, you can select it as none because we are not importing anything from the CSV. We are going to export only. And you can even provide the file name as well, because if we provide the file name, it will be proper, or else it will provide a auto generated file name. So I'm going to explicitly specify what is the output file name which I need. Let me specify the format as well as .csv. And that's it. We have created a dataset for our Blob as well. Click on publish then and there, because if you click on refresh, everything will goes off. So if you publish, everything will get saved. So have a habit of publishing at regular interval. And now let's proceed to create a pipeline. Click on the three dot and click on new pipeline, and let's rename our pipeline. Provide a nice name to it. Copy API to Blob. If you see here on the left hand as well, the pipeline name got renamed. Now we will use copy data activity in order to copy the data from our API into Blob. You can change the name of the copy activity if you prefer, and you can provide the description if you want. Suppose if in case this copy activity is running for a long time and you want to prevent it, you can set the timeout beyond which this copy activity will stop. So you can provide the timeout over here in this text box. And the next option is retry. Suppose in case if this copy activity failed, how many times you want to retry in an interval of 30 minutes or 1 hour. So these two options you can use it. And under source, from the drop down, select API dataset which we have created. So you can even preview the data. Since we have provided authentication everything, you can preview the data, and we have selected get method only here. So if you see, we could see the data. And let's close this. Here you can provide the timeout as well here as well. And in case if you want to pass some additional headers, so all the options are available here. We are not going to use this option. In case if you have additional header, you can use it for your API. and pagination. So these are the additional options available over here. And for sync, select blob. Sync means destination, meaning like we are going to put in blob only, no? And we have here copy behavior. Copy behavior we have explained in detail in our earlier video. I'll be providing the URL in the description. And if you remember, we have provided the file name along with the extension in the dataset itself. So the file extension option is disabled here. And under mapping tab, you can map the source columns versus the destination columns, meaning like sync columns. And click on import schema because nothing is showing up here. If you click on import schema, it will import whatever the column mapping available in the source. Whatever the item you see on the left hand side belongs to the source, so meaning like source columns are showing up. For the right hand side, it is showing up the destination column, but for the destination file is not yet generated. So as of now, whatever the column is available in the source is copied to the destination as well. So same column name will be available. But for destination column name, I like to make some minor changes, which is for time open and then time close. So for both of these two column, I like to add meaning like rename to exact time open, and for closing it should be like exact time close. So these are the column name I am preferring right now for this one as well. So in order to make these changes, what you need to do is just scroll, and on the destination side you can directly rename over here, so which is simple. And yeah, both of them is renamed now. And there is one more important thing which we left. See, we are seeing only this current 8 rows which we are getting from the API, but I need these 3 columns as well. Since this is not available in the API, I need to make this insert as an additional column, meaning like kind of hardcore thing. So let me show how to do. Go to source, and under source just scroll down. Here you will find an option called as additional columns. Just click on new. So here you can provide additional columns. Just provide a column name to it, meaning like what is the column name are you preferring. Just provide the column name, and under this value provide custom value, because we need to provide some custom value, right? So let me select this, and I'm going to provide the value as US dollar USD. So similarly, I'm going to add other 2 columns. Just click on this new and provide the name of the column as well as the value. And the second column is asset name, and the value will be Bitcoin. Let me add the third column as well. So this column is asset, okay, asset, and the value will be BTC. So it will be same for all the rows. And one more thing I left is, okay, I forgot to provide as custom. Let me provide it, and seems like the value got erased. Let me provide it again. So this value will be same for all the rows. Okay, then for the last one, yeah, BTC, yeah, done. So under mapping, we need to do import schema again because we have changed it in the source. Let me rename those columns as well. If you see down below, all these 3 new columns are there, but for let me scroll up. Yeah, here I need to rename. So let me do it again. Exact and exact, and that's it. We are done. If you want to enable some logging, under settings you will have an option to enable a logging. And now let's quickly publish and run. Let's refresh the status. Yeah, it got completed. And if you want to see what are the details over here, you can see how many columns got copied, how many rows got copied, everything you can see up over here. And let me see the output CSV under our storage account. Yeah, the CSV is generated. Let me open it. In order to download this, just click on it, and here you will find download option. Let me open this. Yeah, here we go. The renamed column are appearing here properly. And what about those 3 additional columns? Yeah, that is also available properly. So in next video, we are going to see how to do a Git setup for this Azure Data Factory. I will be providing the URL to download the ARM template of this particular data factory, so you can make use of it. Under our channel, we have various playlists. I request you to go through all these playlists. It will be helpful for you. Don't forget to subscribe our channel and hit the bell icon to stay tuned. Thank you.